Hello, 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 everybody. I just had a little bit of technical difficulties right there. Still new on Instagram Live, but hey, it happens. There's technical difficulties everywhere. So thank you, everyone, for joining today at the 4 o'clock hour Eastern Standard Time of Beyond Small Talk. Hey guys, thank you for joining. I'm so grateful for you to show up. Again, my name is Jackie Janik. I'm a women's empowerment coach, helping women find their purpose in life and define their path in the world. And today is another episode, second woo, of Beyond Small Talk. It's okay not to be okay. Beyond Small Talk is an experience for exceptional women to go beyond the daily chit chat and BS to get real, raw, and radical about legit topics we women actually care about. It's real conversations, real women elevating womankind one talk at a time. And I couldn't be more excited than to introduce my co-host today. We go way back. We go back 10 years, the summer of 2010. We both joined a women's empowerment group and have been sitting in women's circles having these beyond small talks for years and years and years. I'm so happy to introduce to you my friend Danielle Fontus, also known as at Dani Dares. So give her a big, big wave. Hello, virtual, yay, when she comes on. Dani is from New York, resides in Chi-Town. She is the curator of conversations. Hey girl, hi.
Hi. Hold on, I don't see anything yet.
Oh no. You're spinning a little bit.
Okay, hold on.
Technology. Let me get her back on again. Danielle Fontus of at Dani Dares. She is from New York, resides in Chi-Town. She is the curator of experiences, conversation, vibes, music, all around, just a fun, energetic girl, and just has the kindest heart ever. Danielle Fontes, also known as Dani Dares. Give it a minute. It says it's waiting for Dani Dares. Girl, where are you? Okay, let's try again. I'm going to sign this out and then request add. There you are.
I'm here.
Whatever. Wi-Fi issues. How are you?
Oh no, I watched enough lives where this was an issue. I was like, I cannot be that person.
Can you not be that person for Beyond Small Talk? We've known each other for way too long. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. I want to say thank you so much for joining me, second co-host on Beyond Small Talk. Today's topic is it's okay not to be okay. I mean, we're living in a pandemic. There is no blueprint or roadmap, and no one gave me a to-do list to navigate this.
Girl.
So I know. I introduced you. You're from New York, now in Chi-Town, and you've been in the hospitality industry for quite a while, and it's been hit really hard during this pandemic. So how are you feeling?
I mean, it is like it's an uncertain time in general, right? Like the whole world is experiencing something we've never experienced before. So it's like you said, there's no rule book, there's no instruction, there's no right way to be, no right thing to do, especially with so many unanswered questions. And I think the hardest thing about from like my perspective in the hospitality industry and like seeing what's happening in the industry is that we're used to being solution focused. Like if someone needs something, we figure it out. If a guest has a request or an issue or anything happens, we're the one that solves it and fixes it in some way or figures out how to. And this is not that kind of situation. So a lot of us, I think because I've spoken to a bunch of my friends in the industry, we're like what do you do? Like we're used to being helpful and we're used to being of service. So in a time now where it's like there's no right answer, so many unanswered questions, and our specific industry is like ... to be continued, stay tuned, no one really knows, right? Like it's just like, all right, well, let's be flexible. Let's see, you know, like let's see what happens and just be open to whatever that looks like. So I mean, there are, like you said, there are days when it's like, ooh, this isn't looking good. And there are days where I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
the one thing I can control, because I can't control all of that, is how like I take care of myself and how my mental space goes and all of that. So that's where I've been in my area.
In your world right now, that was a whole lot. And you're right, it's like, especially as women, we're used to fixing, changing, editing, making things better, making other people feel better or feel good. And right now, that's not an option. Like, that's
Right.
not, we can't fix anything right now. First of all, there's probably nothing to even be fixed, changed, or corrected. It all is what it is and happening, but it just doesn't feel good all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're in a culture of this positive toxicity. Sorry, I'm always like tripping on some
Mm-hmm.
words, that everything's positive. Like, it's okay, Dani, if you don't feel okay today. Like, it's
Right.
okay, and I don't have to fix you. I could just possibly be a soundboard. But what do you
Mm-hmm.
think about all of this? Like, we've sat in millions of groups together and women talking. It's always like, positive, stay positive, all this positive. Sometimes just like,
Mm-hmm.
screw that. Like, I don't want to be positive today. Let me be. What do you
Right.
think?
And like most people who know me know that I'm more times than not bubbly and positive, and I am that person. But I think the misconception is that that person is always happy and things are perfect all the time, because that's not real life. Like that's just
Yeah.
not real. Everyone has a bad day or goes through challenges and all that stuff. And um so like some of this I kept thinking about, because hospitality is such a hot topic right now of what's going on with restaurants and things. I thought about like what are, because there's a part of me that's not stressed, right? Like not stressed. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I've been in so many stressful situations that like, and I figured it out. So what are the things, like, I just started thinking about like, what are the things that worked, or like the tools I've gotten from being in hospitality that have helped me now? And one of the things that's been like, especially since I'm like more focused on events these days, the thing that like
Mm-hmm.
keeps me going is like finding the calm in the chaos. Like that's what I keep hearing.
Mm.
Find the calm, girl, find the calm. And a lot of times be the calm, because again, when being the person that has to get the answers or get all the moving parts to work together, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna be the calm. We're all gonna have to bring it in, because I actually can't even handle the stress. And that, like,
Or carry other people's. Like, you already
right,
have enough on your own, but that's
right.
brilliant. Be the calm.
And that's where
So I
I'm
know you have
investing,
some
like,
tools.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
How
like
are you being the calm?
the noise is like, the news is noisy right now, right? Like you said, other
Yeah.
people's energy and like what they're talking about can
Mm-hmm.
like there are some people I can talk to on certain days, because I'm like, I can't today. Today's not that day. So being intentional about, I'm not having a great day. I don't know if I can talk to this person. No offense to that person or whatever, but just,
Mm-hmm.
you have to like self-preserve first, right? And like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and some people may know, but there are days where I was busy at work and all the things were happening, and I was like, I'm gonna go take a breath in the walk-in freezer right now, because I need it. Like I need to collect myself and collect my thoughts, because in that minute or 60 seconds, it's so much easier to then find the calm, and then like kind of share that calm with other people. Like, okay, so what do you need? Let's get that done. What do you need? And like
Mm-hmm.
assuring people it's going to be fine. We don't have all the answers. We don't even know. This might not be a great situation, but like, we're going to be okay. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been doing now, where I'm like, oh, I had enough news today. I had enough stress today. I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to sit in my little chair, and I'm going to just be with my own thoughts and figure out what that calm is. So being
Yeah.
the calm in chaos, because it's a lot. It's a lot going on right now.
It takes a lot of courage, like you said, being in your own mind and living there and just like being comfortable, being uncomfortable,
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah,
how do
yep.
you get to that place? And I know you have tools for this, but to be uncomfortable, be comfortable with the uncomfortableness of what's going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So honestly, like there have been waves, right, in this whole time of what has been about 2 months now, since like I've been at home and just in my own thoughts. And there are times where my own thoughts are chaotic. So for me, a big tool is writing. It's just been,
Hmm.
since I was little, I've always been a writer. So writing has helped me just be calm and be honest, because sometimes you're saying something, but when you start writing it out, it just is like, oh, I didn't know I was feeling that or thinking that, and expressing it. And then like something else that's been like our glue that holds us together, and again in hospitality, is community. Like
Yeah.
there are so many of my coworkers and team members who called in, checked in. They like, they've dropped off kombucha and soup and like fresh made juices and cookies,
I
like
love the
all
kombucha.
these things. Yeah, because in the thick of
Yeah.
it, when we're going through, like, we're in the weeds and all the things are happening, we have each other's back, because that's how you get the job done with your community. And then beyond, like, my specific hospitality friends, my friends in New York, my sister circles like you all, and like some of my best friends in Hong Kong, in South Africa, like, we've had conversations that have brought me from like here in chaos to like, okay, girl, you're gonna be fine. And this is like, it's good, we're good, it's okay. So
Brought you to grounding places. I love how
yeah,
you say in the weeds because
in the
I
weeds.
go, yeah, I'm back. I used to bartend and waitress, and I worked
Mm-hmm.
at Roy Rogers. You know, anybody
Mm-hmm.
remember
I
Roy
remember
Rogers? And I always say, like, working in fast food has been the foundation of my life. It's like people are like, really, Roy Rogers? But you
man.
learn to keep the calm and to keep your mind in a
Yeah.
certain place during the chaos, because
Mm-hmm.
in, hospitality, I'm sure people are requesting and yelling and
Girl.
doing all these things around you, and it looks like this, and you're like, what? WTF? And then, but
Yeah.
someplace
Yep.
you find that calm. And I love how you say, be the calm in the chaos and be quiet in your mind. Community writing, sister circles,
Mm-hmm.
any other like tools that you've been turning to? I mean,
Yeah.
these are,
So I, again, because work is what I have spent most of my time doing. I thought about just like you can have a conversation with one person, or like watch the news and you hear this side of a story, and then you talk to someone else and you hear this kind of experience, and it's like, yeah, we're all in the same situation, but we're all having different experiences in this situation, because if you know a variety of people, you just know the variety of stories.
mm,
And I thought about it, I'm like, that's like any given night. Like, imagine you're at a restaurant and the DJ's playing music and it's like it's bustling with all this energy, and there could be a person who's standing at the door waiting for a table for 30 minutes. There could be a person that's like about to be engaged or about to get proposed to. There's a person whose favorite song just came on, or there's a person who's like on a bad date. And like, they're all in the same room. They're all having the same,
yeah,
like, they're all in the same situation, but they're having a different experience. And I thought about that as like where we are now, because we're all in the same thing, but it's not hitting us all the same way, because we all have so many details that contribute to what's happening, right? And I'm just like, that reminds me to just have more empathy for, like, I'm sure you've seen the Instagram post that's like, if you're whoever's not checking on you in this time right now, you see who your real friends are. And there are people who are like, but it's not about that. Like,
yeah,
if you can check on people, cool, because that's where you are. But you don't actually know what people are going through, and maybe they don't have the wherewithal to check on you. And
yeah,
at the same time, it's like, if you thought about them, why not check on them? So it's just like remembering that we're all in our own space about it. And it's just like, if this person is cranky at the supermarket, or this person like scoffs at you because you have or don't have a mask, or like whatever the different scenarios are, it's like, okay, well, they got whatever they got going on. That's not my business.
right.
That's not for me to respond to. Or just have the extra empathy of like, I'm gonna be a little bit nicer to you because I don't know what you have going on, and I can be understanding in that space.
Right. To have
Yeah.
compassion, because we
Yeah.
don't know what other people are going
You
through. And
don't
I
like.
love your analogy. That was just brilliant, because I didn't think of it in that way. So thank you
Mm-hmm.
for framing it like what's going on here. And we're all experienced this pandemic in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you are financially a certain way, where do you live? I mean, being
Right.
in New York and Chicago is totally different experiences than
100%.
other places, right?
And that's
And
the
now
thing.
it's,
I've talked to friends. Thankfully, like, I have a nice full community. I have a friend that lives in Hong Kong, a friend who lives in South Africa, who was actually living in China. So many of my friends and family are in New York, and then us in Chicago, a few friends in California. And again, like, we all have the same things that are happening, but it's just, whether it's like what your country's doing, what your city's doing, what your family's doing, like, they're just different pieces where it's like, we're having different conversations here. Some similarities, but some people like, today's not the day, girl. Like, I'm going through it. And some people are like, I'm chilling. Like, I've repainted my house. I've done this.
yeah,
I've done that. And I'm like, how? How and
exactly.
where? Like, where? But
But it just sounds like, again, that it's okay. not to be okay and to be okay. Like
Right.
there's no right or wrong answer of where you are. But when I'm hearing, first of all, I love be the calm in the chaos, but
Mm-hmm.
also your takeaways that everyone's experienced this in a different way, and to have a bit of compassion for somebody because maybe how they're treating you is not a reflection of who you are as a human being.
Right.
That's their own stuff going on and their
Whatever
own stuff
stuff
they're
is,
working
right.
out. And it's okay if you have a bad day. Like I'm sure you've experienced a bad day. I had some
Mm-hmm.
epic fails last Friday. Like I
Mm-hmm.
missed a meeting, I was late for something else, I didn't finish some daughter's homework, like all these things, and it just like I just kept checking off like shitty day, that was so
Mm-hmm.
bad. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay to be okay. It not to be okay. It's
Right.
another feeling, and all feelings deserve to be felt. And actually, to feel those crappy ones or feel like those fearful ones or those uncertain ones actually takes a lot of courage to do so. It takes a lot of
Oh,
vulnerability. It takes a lot of
yeah.
like strength to let me sit in that crap and like see what stirs up and what comes up. And I know we both have been there. And
Yeah,
has that
for
happened to
sure.
you over the past few months? Have you been in it? And
Girl,
how does that make you feel?
I have been all the way in it. Because again, like specifically in hospitality, it's an uncertain time. We don't have answers. So
Yeah.
someone who's like so good at setting goals and being like, this is what I'm looking forward to and working towards, it's like we don't know what any of that is about to look like. So it's hard to even look towards the future. And beyond that, travel or seeing friends or any of that, I just feel it's very unnerving. Like it's a
Yeah.
weird this weird space to be. So again, I can't control all of that, but what I can control is, well, I got time now to explore whatever the things are I was talking about or thinking about when I was working and busy, right? So I have done so I still do my therapy virtually, that's helpful for sure. And like, what's today? Today's Thursday, and I talked to her on Tuesday. Tuesday we went there. Like Tuesday, she was like, so for the past few months or like there were a couple of weeks, she's like, how are you doing? And I would just like vent off like the surface
Hmm.
stuff. Like I would just like,
Yeah.
oh well, I'm doing this, I'm drinking the water, I'm okay, I just don't know what to do, like all the little surface, like noisy stuff. But she just like looking at me with the side eye, like, I'll wait for it.
Yeah.
I know, like I know how Danielle operates. She's not gonna give me everything right away, so she'll wait for it. But then this Tuesday, I called her and I was like, I want to do an appointment. I went there, and
Hmm.
was it fun? No, but it was important. Like it was very, very
Yeah.
valuable because I had to have some of the and I think that's what part of this thing is for people, is that it's confronting. Like if you can be at work and be busy and go on dates and go out for drinks and do all these
Hmm.
things, you're like, oh, I don't really care or think about my life. But now you're home with like yourself, like all of
Yourself.
yourself
Yeah.
and
And now
all
you
of your
got that
circle.
time. Yeah. So maybe was it never that, oh, I never have time. That was the biggest excuse. I've used that 100 times. Now I
Mm-hmm.
got some of the time. Some days you
It's like,
have the time.
and you have to call your own self on it. It's just like,
Yeah.
I can't say I'm too busy. Like I gotta deal with it. And then like you said, you have to feel those things sometimes, because when you don't, then like there are times where like I wouldn't deal with something that was going on, and then I would have like a random breakdown about the most ridiculous thing ever. Like actually remember this had to be back when I was a server in this had to be like 2011 or 2012 or something. And so I guess something was going on with my family, or who knows what I was frustrated about. And I just went to work and I was fine. And I was like, I'm just going to do this day. And then someone asked me for ketchup. Like, this is how ridiculous it is. Someone asked me for ketchup. And I started crying. And I went into the restroom and started crying. And my manager came in and she was like, girl, what is up with you? I was like, I don't know. This lady wants ketchup. She's like, are you serious right now? but
Yeah.
but that's the thing, is if you don't deal with it, sometimes it'll come out because it's still there, and like we have to
Yeah.
deal with it. So again, I'm using the space and the time to deal with it. Like the first few weeks I did like puzzles, I read some books, again I've been journaling, I've been cooking a lot more like everyone else, focusing on health and stuff. And some of that was my way too of avoiding it, just being like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do these things over here. And now what are we in, like week 8 or 9, and I'm like, all right, having some really honest thoughts right now. Maybe it's the
Those
time to
are
deal with
fun.
some of those. And
That's so
you got time, right?
you got time, and your courageous and brave enough to acknowledge it. First, you acknowledge that these things are going on.
Girl.
And second, you take action around it. You know, the writing is exceptional when you free write. That was a great tip and tool you shared. Community is always a must. Like,
It's
you
the
even
game
feel
changer.
like, yeah,
It
even
really,
because
really
right now
is.
you have no one like to physically touch you, and I've been missing
Right?
hugging people. I'm a hugger. Like,
Yeah.
we were in a group together, we'd always come in, hugs for everybody, and
Mhm.
now it feels like, oh my god, like I want to hug my friends,
And
you
that's the
know.
thing. Usually, when we're stressed out, what do? We hang out with a friend. We go to someone's
Mhm.
house. We go out. We get drinks. We do dinner, and those are like some of our coping mechanisms. And because the nature of this situation right now is that we can't do that, I think that adds another layer to it, where it's like
Right.
I can't go hug this person or talk to this person or hang out because that's exactly what we're not supposed to be doing.
Exactly. And I know so many things have been going, you know, online, everything's going
Which is
digital,
helpful. Don't
you know,
don't
which
get
is
me wrong. My
great.
dance parties,
Therapy,
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
great. But there is something to say about in real life experiences, and
oh
you
for
host them and
sure.
you curate them and you put them on, and it's just a different energy. Sometimes I don't always get the energy through these kind of conversations. That's why, like, I'm happy that I know you, and,
Yeah.
you know, by first when I know the person on the other end, so I can
Mhm.
feel it and I know your vibe, right?
And I
But I
think
think it's
that's what is
harder.
Yeah, and that's what's been helpful too about again being intentional about who to talk to. Like if I'm in this mood, I'll talk to this friend. Or if I'm in excuse
Smart.
me, this mood, I'll talk to this like you have to curate like you have to curate your own energy because if you're like responding to everybody else, you'll be frazzled and you can't really keep up with it. And then like the fun
That's
thing too is getting to connect with people. Like let's say, so I saw my friend Eric here. I haven't been able to go to his yoga classes because he's in New York, but now I can zoom in and that connection is there. So it's kind of like finding that opportunity to find the connections we couldn't have when we were busy and when
mm-hmm.
we were in a different city or when things were different and we were out being so busy doing all the stuff. So that has been fun. Finding
Yeah,
the
for
connection,
sure.
like finding where the connection really feels good.
Or just be inventive. You're being inventive of how you connect now. You
Yeah.
know, there's different ways of how, and you're the buzzword pivot and so on. This might
Oh
be a
God,
little off
right
topic,
now, right?
but yeah, all the buzzwords. It might be off topic, but maybe not. I've been really, you know, pondering around the new normal or going back to normal. I was thinking about it and I was like, I don't want to go back to all areas of what normal was. I
Mm-hmm.
think there was, you know, some hardcore not great stuff personally and or for us as a society,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm okay putting it out there and saying I don't want to go back to that. Like, I'll take some of that for
Yeah.
sure, like some of the essence and my values and standards don't
Mm-hmm.
change, but implementing it in different ways. How do you have any thoughts on that? I know I'm just throwing that out there
No, no,
now.
no. That's completely fine because one of the points I have is to be flexible, and I think that's fair. I feel the same way where I'm like, yes, of course, there's certain things that we want that we miss, but this is an opportunity to revisit some of that stuff and tweak it, like reinvent it and
Hmm.
see what we can do, like how we can realign it with the information that we have. Because some of it we were kind of just doing
Yes.
it because it was what was our norm, and
Right.
I think it's limiting to try to go back to what we were doing. We have all this new information, we have these new experiences, this new insight, this new restful time, all these things. What can we do to be innovative? So because like I wrote be flexible as one of my tips, because like you've been to like you've had a wedding and you've been to weddings, you have a daughter, again being in events, we'll have a plan and a run of show and then it's like, oh by
Yeah.
the way, the DJ didn't show up, oh by the way 400 extra people just showed up, and these are real life scenarios, like
Yeah.
oh by the
To-
way this person all of a sudden has an allergy, and you have to learn how to be flexible and like
mhm.
pivoting is just what you do because you have to be able and believe. You can't be like, well, we didn't prep for that, so we're not gonna do it. Or like you have an outdoor wedding and it starts raining. You know what I mean? Like being
Yeah.
flexible and responsive to, instead of reactive, but being responsive to things and figuring out, well, what can we do? How can we make this work for us? How can we create this to like be something better? And I think that's a challenge that a lot of us are dealing with now, where a lot of us aren't able to let go of what we knew. So I think that's part of the
Mhm.
discomfort where there's the opportunity to reinvent ourselves, reinvent how we do things. And I don't know if everyone is ready for that just yet. So again, To be continued. We have to see what
Totally.
happens.
It's the uncertainty, and that, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it's really like having a strong, and I'm not saying a faith-based, believing that
Even
everything
faith
is
in yourself,
working,
that
and
you'll
faith in
figure it
yourself.
out. You get a
Yeah,
new job, you'll figure it out. Faith in like, I don't know how to do this, but I will figure it out. And again, the more
right.
you figure out, you're like, I mean, I don't know everything, but I know how to figure it out. The skill is knowing how to figure out what I don't know.
Right.
So
And if
yeah,
you don't know how to figure it out, you're wise enough to know, let me tap into my community. Let
right,
me ask a
exactly.
friend.
Mm-hmm.
I have lots of resources and I've built these relationships. And somebody out of all those people
Somebody,
has an answer for you or
right?
can help you direct you to the answer. So as we're coming to a wrap, is there something that we can help your community right now, the hospitality, any support that you want
Yeah.
people to know about?
So again, what I've been doing is connecting with people that I have a connection with in whatever capacity. So I've been really closely following restaurants in Harlem because I like Harlem was
Mm.
such a big piece of my life.
What was your
Oh gosh, I was Miss Harlem
Harlem?
Shake.
Yes! I voted for you too. I went to Harlem Shakes
Mhm.
and there was a big picture of Danielle on the wall. If anyone
Oh my
ever is in
goodness.
Harlem, please go to Harlem Shakes. First of all, it's delicious, right?
Yeah, and
Such
funny
great
enough,
food.
those memories are what are popping up in my feed right now because it was around this time I was, I guess, doing events and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like doing stuff like that where it's just encouraging people to still visit our restaurants. And again, no pressure on anyone because everyone's situation is different. But in those scenarios
Hmm.
when you can, it's like, and not to throw shade at like a Domino's, but I would rather go to my local pizza shop than go to Domino's. Like
Yeah.
go to um like a local, what is it, like, so there's a sushi spot on my corner that I go to instead of like going to, not I don't go to Target for sushi, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like
Yeah, like
I'll go
support
to
your
like Sam's
local. Yeah.
Donuts that's on my corner rather than going to
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts. And again, no shade to like the bigger
Right.
businesses because that's not it. But the smaller businesses are who needs our help right now. And then so I
Exactly.
used to like work in our delivery and I know how those operations work. And so whenever I think about ordering food, when I do, I
Hmm.
think about, can I reach them directly instead of going through like a Grubhub or a Postmates, because they end up
Mm.
losing money doing those. And just now, every dollar counts.
I
So
don't. Yeah.
those are the things that I would recommend. Like remembering to your small businesses, reaching out, engaging their social media, their Yelp, all that stuff. I feel like even if you can't financially support them, it reminds them that like the community's here, the community has your back, and like we're gonna make it. At the end of the day, like through all the weeds that we've ever been through, me and my team and some of my closest friends are
Hmm.
from events or like from my serving days, because like we went through stuff together. Like we went
Yeah.
through stuff together. So I think that would help the employees of those companies, the owners of those companies, the people who are frustrated and really trying to figure out what are we gonna do right now, or what is this about to look like. It just helps them remember we're gonna be fine. Like we're in it together. It's not fun. It's tough. It's
Hmm.
challenging, but
Yeah.
together, like we will figure it out.
Oh, that is such a good ending. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I love your industry
Yeah.
talk through the weeds. Yeah, we'll end up on the other side. Be the calm in the chaos. These are my tips that I'm taking from you. Be
Mm-hmm.
flexible. Curate your energy and who you
Oh
talk to.
yes.
And there's no shade on friends that you don't talk to. It's just like
Right.
what works best for your energy at the
And
moment.
different times.
Com-
Different times.
yeah, thank you. So you are just a wealth of information and
Oh,
great
thanks.
self-care tips and tools, and I'm so grateful and appreciative of you. This will be on my Instagram,
Nice.
IG, TV. Uh, Hit that on my page to
Mm-hmm.
see this, and I'll share with you as well, Danielle. And again, Dani Dares, I posted it, your Insta. Follow
Yeah.
her, follow me, and thank you, thank you, thank
Yeah,
you. Have a
thank
great.
you for having me, because it's like in the figure, like the self time, all of that reflection. I'm like, man, I miss like having conversations. I miss doing stuff like this. So when you reached out to me, I was like, yeah, absolutely, of course. So thank you for inviting me, thinking of me, creating this space, because it's a
Oh,
cool
thank
space.
you.
And like all the friends and everyone I see tuning in, thank you guys for for being my tribe and being my community, because I've talked to every single one of these people.
I know. We see some cool, very, very nice part of our community, our women's group community that we've been in from over 10 years. It really brought together a sisterhood, and I'm so grateful. You see all of them popping up. Thank you. I feel so special. So thank you, thank you. Love to everyone out there. Stay safe and healthy.
Yes, for sure.
Bye.
And I'll talk to you soon.
Bye. Talk to
Bye.
you.